Angeles Lakers are heading to the Mile High City to take on former two-time MVP Nikola Jokic and the top-seeded Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. Game 1 tips off Tuesday night on ESPN, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, Stephen A., here's what I need to know. If the Lakers win it all, would this be LeBron James' most impressive title yet?
In my opinion, yes, without question. In my opinion, if LeBron James pulls this off, this would be probably his greatest accomplishment. I understand that there are people that think Cleveland, but you had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. You didn't have a sporadic, periodically unavailable Anthony Davis. You didn't start off the season with Russell Westbrook. You didn't have a trade deadline deal that brought in Hachimura from the nation's capital about a few days before that trading deadline, and then Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, and Jared Vanderbilt, who were considered marginal to good players, not scrubs by any stretch of the imagination, but marginal to good players, but not necessarily great. But yet somehow you go through Ja Morant, you go through Steph Curry, you'd go through Nikola Jokic, and then potentially Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown or Jimmy Butler and win a championship. I'm sorry. I'd have to look at that, and I'd have to say that would be the greatest championship accomplishment that LeBron James ever pulled off.
Very compelling argument, Stephen A. Very compelling argument.
That's what I do.
I'm going down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors. That was the seminal moment. That's when LeBron James became, in a lot of doubters' eyes, the guy that a lot of us that already was on the train of him being the greatest, he became that guy in that conversation with MJ, even if they don't have him the greatest. First of all, we're talking about a team in Golden State that was considered one of the best teams in the history of the NBA. And I understand that he had Kyrie and Kevin Love, but we know damn well if LeBron James wouldn't have been leading and orchestrating, that wouldn't have ever happened. And let's not mention some of the teams that he took to a championship that were in Cleveland prior to having some people that could actually get him over the hump when need be. The other thing is his seminal moment, play-wise, comes from that. The chase down block, which we've shown, that's going to be on his version of The Last Dance whenever that docuseries comes out. The second thing is the Golden State Warriors, after that, went and got Kevin Durant in order to beat LeBron James because they knew that he would be there again. It changed what we think about. Look, let's venture to say this. All right, we talk about Steph Curry, and I am a Steph Curry fan. I am a guy that believes Steph Curry will end as a top 15 player, if not a top 10 all time in the NBA when it's all said and done because of what he's had the ability to do. Does he have these championships if not for LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers coming back from 3-1 and them adding Kevin Durant to that team? I just can't imagine. And I get all of the things that have aligned in order for LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers to try to get a championship this year. I understand how difficult that is and how everybody wrote him off except Kendrick Perkins, because I know the Brody, and we talked about this as the season went along about what the Lakers could actually do. Down 3-1, winning against Golden State Warriors is the seminal moment for LeBron James. I don't think that would top this.
Well, I tell you
I don't
what.
think this would top that.
Look, I tell you what. He better not win it this year, because y'all might as well give me the days off after if he completes the mission and don't bring me on TV, because I'm not trying to even go to the principal office. I don't even want Dave Roberts calling my phone because I don't know what I might say if he win another one, right? Especially this year. Stephen A., Swagoo, I want y'all to think about this. At a point this season, the Lakers were 25-30. 25-30. When they made the trade, I believe they had to go on a run that was so crazy in order for them to get into the play-in tournament that they did that in a short period of time, and it was without LeBron James at that point. Now, the one thing S.A. left out, and I'm with you on this one, he went through Steph Curry already. If he get through Jokic and then have to face Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown or Jimmy Butler, that's great. But LeBron James did break a record this season. LeBron James did break a record this season. Kareem, the all-time leading scorer. So if you just forget who he had to go through, if you just tie him into breaking the record of being the all-time leading scorer, being 38 years old, year 20, was in the 13th spot in February, and going on to winning the championship, this will be his greatest title of all time, in my opinion, over the 3-1. And I'm going to repeat this again, S.A., to you and Molly. If he win this 5th title, just give me the days off. Okay?
No.
Just give me the days off.
Well, let me respond.
No,
Give me the days off.
I want to watch that.
Let me
I want to watch
respond.
that. You got to come.
Let me respond. First of all, it's first take, baby. Ain't nobody running. I'll be here waiting for you, and you will get the call, and you will be on. A matter of fact, you'll probably be flying in to New York. I'll hand you the studio, but I'll have a response. Secondly, it ain't going to change my opinion about that Jordan conversation. Thirdly, here's the point. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Thirdly, and last but not least. No, I'm not.
Because you stubborn. That's why it's not going to happen. Because you stubborn, bro.
Hey, Swagoo. This is not one of your moments. Time out. Okay. This is not one of your moments. This is not one of your moments to scream at me saying it's not fair. We're not talking about the Cowboys. We're talking about LeBron and Jordan, okay? It's not fair, okay? It's not one of those moments. All right, it's not fair. All right, now listen to me. Last point. 3-1. Listen. I joke around by it when I call it a stimulus package that was given to LeBron James from Adam Silver when he suspended Draymond Green. But I'm serious. Listen to this. They're down 3-1. Why? That game 4 was in Cleveland. When LeBron threw Draymond to the floor and he kicked up his leg, and it warranted a suspension. He wasn't even called for a technical in that moment, mind you.
Head coaches, and Darvin Ham has proven now he's one of them, and now he's in the conference final against Michael Malone and a really loaded Denver team that I think is peaked to finally break through and get to the finals. This is going to be a great series.
Yeah, we certainly hope so. Again, we'll have all the action for you on ESPN and ABC. So let's dive into where I think this thing ultimately gets decided, Vince. Nikola Jokic is the least celebrated all-time great player in the league because of where he plays and maybe because of the style he plays. It's not that pretty to watch. It's not like watching Vince Carter play in his prime. Let's put it that way. But to call it effective would be the understatement of the century. No one can do anything with this guy. But Anthony Davis can do things that almost no other big in the league can do either. So talk me through this matchup, Vince, because it feels to me like the series will be decided, as great as LeBron is, by the matchup of Jokic and AD.
So I'm going to start with Jokic. And the thing about Jokic is every time he steps on the floor, the guy that's guarding him is probably, I don't want to say more athletic, extremely more, like extreme.
Yes.
Like I'm talking about next level.
Correct.
And he finds a way because of his IQ. And you have to have discipline to guard a guy like that because you can match up and you see, you hear guys with a big double R and this, that, the fourth, he can't jump, but he just outsmarts you and he's patient. Like people guarding Luka. You have to be patient because they play at their pace. Anthony Davis, he's so athletic. He can start an offense. I mean, he can run the offense. He can get out and run, and that's going to be the challenge for Jokic is getting back and finding him in transition. Now, the thing that is going to be difficult is defensively, Anthony Davis' ability to stretch the floor is going to be the key because when that paint is open, that's when now Reeves and Russell and all these guys and LeBron can get into the paint. But Anthony Davis has to be careful with foul trouble.
Yes.
That's going to be the key to me because Darvin Ham has not used his other bigs that he has. So when he gets in foul trouble, where do you go there? Now you're going to move LeBron over to the 5? I don't know. You always talk about wearing LeBron down. That's going to wear him down trying to guard that big fella.
There's the concern about foul trouble, and then, I hate to even say it out loud, but with Davis, you're always concerned about him getting injured. If it's a little nick here, a little nick there, and the next thing you know, he can't go, and that's when they're really finished. But this feels like such an opportunity for Anthony Davis, doesn't it? There was a moment in time when he was the answer to the question, if you're starting an NBA franchise right now, and you could have any player in the league, people were saying Anthony Davis. No one is saying that now, but this feels like his chance. If he outplays Jokic in this series,
he's back.
And the Lakers go to the finals, Davis is back.
Yeah, he's back, right. And there was also a time where ESPN did a ranking that they do every year at the start of a season of the top 100 players in the league. He was number 2. LeBron James was number 1. Think about that also for a moment. But this is not like the bubble matchup, where they also had Dwight Howard coming off the bench. Yep. They also had JaVale McGee.